Good afternoon, Flosstube. Happy Monday. It is Monday again, and I missed last Monday, so it's been 2 weeks since I've done a Monday Flosstube. Normally I try to say I'm going to be brief, I'm going to try to be quick, I'm going to be brief, and I'm looking around and I'm thinking, no, today isn't going to be brief. Today is going to be a good long episode, I can already tell. So I hope you have something to drink, a glass of water, cup of tea, hot coffee, glass of wine, whatever tickles your fancy, whatever time of day it is in your part of the world, and you've got some stitching, and that you'll join me for the next hour or so, and we'll chat about some stitching. I have a lot to share, a lot to share. So let's start with the giveaway. I did not record last Monday, so I have the Because Monday giveaway from 2 weeks ago. I should back up a little bit. My name is Caroline. Thank you for joining me today. I live in London, Ontario, Canada, and I like to talk about stitching a lot. So the Because Monday giveaway happens over on the Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid, and it's just a fun thing to do on a Monday, because sometimes Monday can be a difficult day to get back into the week. You know, what's even sometimes more difficult than Monday is Sunday night. That sort of late feeling on Sunday night where you know Monday is coming and you're not quite ready for it and you don't really want the weekend to end, but it's inevitable, right? And so that's kind of the, you know, Sunday, Monday feeling. So I try to, try to stay positive, try to have something happy to look forward to. So I love doing these giveaways. They're a lot of fun for me, and hopefully you guys enjoy them too. I have 2 giveaways today that are new, and I had 2 giveaways on the last video that I did. Let's start with the smaller one first. This was a JBW Designs French Country baby carriage. It's very sweet. Very, very sweet little chart. And I had 31 comments on this chart, and the random number generator chose comment number 27, which was Denise McLean. So congratulations, Denise. I will get this, when I've got your address from you, you can private message that to me. I'll get this out in the mail to you. I love these small little charts. And I have a few of these, just a little heads up. I have not the same, but I have a few of these small JBW charts, and they're, very sweet and small and just satisfying. They've done it in a different colorway on the back. So the green is sort of a, neutral on the front, and then they've done it in a pink on the back. Not that you can't do pink for boys, but you know what I mean. Just doing it in an entirely different color changes the look and feel of the piece. Really sweet. Okay, so congratulations, Denise. The second chart that I offered up for giveaway 2 weeks ago was an oldie but goodie from the Work Basket, and this was the Work Basket of Seasons. So this was the chart. Again, on the back, they have finished all of those seasons. I didn't show this 2 weeks ago. They have finished all of those charts into smalls, which are just so cute. And there's that one, and I think you can see, yeah, there's that one. Really, really, really sweet. Okay, I had 89 comments for this particular chart giveaway, and the random number generator chose comment number 60, which just so happened to be Colette Kingsley. And many of you will know Colette as the Highway Stitcher on YouTube. So I have been watching her channel for a while. I know you'd enjoy her as well. So the Highway Stitcher on YouTube, and Colette, I already received your answer because I know you already know that you won. And you mentioned in your comment that you never win anything. So congratulations. I'm super pleased that in particular you like the work basket charts and that you're pleased to be receiving this. So congratulations. All right, next up, new giveaways. So I mentioned that I have quite a number of baby charts to give away. Birth announcements, you know, birth records, things like that. Full kits and also small charts. And that's why I've started giving away a birth announcement for the last 3 or 4 weeks to try and get through those at the same pace as some of the other charts that I've got to give away. So before I show you today's giveaways, I just have a private note to Teresa Carmine. Tessa or Teresa Carmine. I've mentioned her before here on the channel. Tessa on her YouTube channel has done a tutorial on how to build a PVC pipe floor frame, and it's really, really clever. Very, very clever. Very well done. And so that's on her YouTube channel, and I will try to remember to put a link to that in the drop down box below. Tessa is a new grandmother to a granddaughter, and Tessa has been entering the last few giveaways that I have done for the baby charts. But Tessa has also gifted me a few rather special gifts, you know, just because random acts of kindness. Tessa has sent me a few things. And so Tessa, I just wanted you to know I have some charts or kits for you to choose from. So I'm going to message you privately tonight. And if you don't hear from me tonight, just shoot me a message so that I make sure I don't forget. And I'm gonna just send you something. So because I know that you would really like to win one of these giveaways, you don't even have to enter this one, unless you love it and you wanna enter it anyways. But Tessa, I'm just gonna send you something. So if you could just message me, I'm gonna send you a picture of my selection, and then you can choose, and I'll send you whichever one you'd like. Doesn't matter if it's a full kit or just a pattern, whichever one is your favorite. I'll send it to you. So thanks, Tessa. Okay, so today's new giveaway, I'll show you the baby one first, since I was just talking about that. This is a full dimensions kit. This is brand new in the package, fully sealed, includes everything that you need in order to stitch the Happy Transport birth record. So it's pretty darn cute, if I do say so myself. Isn't that cute? That is pretty sweet. And you can put all the details on the truck. And so everything that you need is in the kit. And I'll send it anywhere. If you want it, come over to the Facebook group, leave me a comment on the picture of this chart kit, and you'll be entered in the giveaway. So again, yeah, this is fully sealed. It's brand new in the package. It is from, when's it from? I'm gonna have to take my glasses off for this. Hang on a second, because the print is really small. 2011. So 2011 Dimension Crafts, brand new, sealed in the package. And the colors are, I really like these colors. Can you see those? This is gonna focus. There we go. Got some focus there. Really nice colors. So, and of course the fabric and everything that you need is in the kit. Okay, so that's giveaway number 1. Now, giveaway number 2. To tell you about giveaway number 2, I first have to tell you a little bit about what I purchased. Now, since this was a purchase that I actually mentioned a few weeks ago, I don't think I have to save this to the end, because I already told you it was coming. I purchased some patterns from Michelle Bendy Stitchy, who is Bendy Stitchy Designs, and many of you know and love Michelle. And Michelle, I ordered pretty much one of everything that she had on her site. The only thing I couldn't order were the 2 newer patterns that are exclusive to the needlework shops until, I think that she gives them a month. She gives the needlework shops a month to sell them first, and then she then offers them on her site. So I didn't want to place 2 orders from the States, so I just ordered all of the charts from her site that I could get that were available. And Michelle included the 2 charts that were not. So she just gifted them to me. So the 2 that she gifted to me are Noel, which is adorable, and then Hildy's Brew, which is so cute. Can you see it? I know it's got the wrapper on it. There, that's pretty darn good. Okay, so Michelle sent me 2 copies of the Noel pattern. Now, FYI, one of these is for me and one of them is for you, but I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this as a giveaway. This one's coming, but in a few weeks, okay? So keep on the lookout for that one. But the other one that she sent me, Hildy's Brew, I am not a Halloween stitcher. Even though I love this and I think it's adorable, the only Halloween piece I have ever started is the Glendon Place Witch's Wheel, excuse me. I don't foresee finishing it anytime soon. I don't generally enjoy working on Halloween stitches year round, whereas every other holiday and whatnot, you know, some people are just really love Halloween and other people are, I'm all about the candy. I'll admit it, I like the candy, though I'm really trying hard not to eat the candy this year. John, we had to stop, we stopped at grocery store on the way up and he said, oh look, there's the big giant box of Halloween, you know, chocolate bars for X number of dollars. That's such a good deal. And I said, neither of us need that huge box of chocolate on October the 5th. You know, Halloween is still a month away. You know what's gonna happen. We're gonna eat it and it's never gonna make it to Halloween. I said, or we won't eat it and Nicholas will eat the whole thing and he doesn't need that big giant box of candy. So I managed to convince him that buying that big box of candy was a terrible idea, so we left it at the store. However, Hildy's Brew, I think, needs a home. Someone who will love her and stitch her, because it was so kind. And Michelle said, she sent me these and she said, you can do with them what you want. I'm not a Halloween stitcher, so I'm going to pass this out into the world so that someone else can stitch and enjoy it. Okay, so the 2 giveaways for today are Michelle's lovely Hildy's Brew pattern and the Dimensions birth record. Happy Transport birth record. So again, you can find those over on the, you know, over there. Oh. On the Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid. See, my voice is almost 100%. Almost 100%. Almost back to normal. Feeling a lot better. It was a rough weekend. 24 hours of cross stitch was this past weekend, and I had put out a small video on Friday saying that I was participating. And I did as much as possible. I got about 12 hours of stitching in. Saturday, I came down with some kind of gastro something. Wasn't pretty. And then, no, was that? No, it was Friday night. It was Friday night for about 12 hours. And then John came down with something on Saturday, late afternoon, early evening, for about 12 hours. At first we were like, was it something we ate? Was it, you know, was it food related, something? But Nicholas was totally fine and my father-in-law was totally fine. So it was just one of those things that, you know, kind of flies through the house and then you're really grateful when it leaves. So that really affected my 24 hours of cross stitch. I did not even come close to the full 24 hours. There was also we had to leave on Sunday. Thank heavens we were feeling better. You know, because there's nothing worse than knowing you've got a really long journey ahead of you and you feel like death. So we were really grateful on Sunday morning that we woke up and we both felt better. We had a couple of things to take care of on Sunday on our way home. One of them is incredibly exciting and it's kind of a surprise. So I'll fill you in on that. I'll fill you in on that later. So that's coming. But you know, with the traveling and the not feeling very good, you know, the 24 hours just didn't happen. But I did managed to finish my forest flower. So this is Ink Circles Forest Flower. You've seen it many times, but look, I finally finished it. It's spectacular. If I do say so myself, it's spectacular. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing. So the details on this are, this is a pattern by Ink Circles. It's called Forest Flower. I stitched this very tiny, teeny tiny. This is 1 thread over 1 on a, it's a 28 count even weave. 28 count white even weave. And you can tell by the orange stripe that it is made by Zweigart, if that's gonna focus. Come on, there we go. So, forest flower, and I did use the called for threads. All the called for threads, and there's only 5 of them. So with just 5 colors, look at what you can achieve. And I already have the, look, when you step back, look at how tiny it is. It's so small. And it took me such a long time. There's a lot of stitching in there. There is a lot of stitching in there. Trust me. I know of what I speak. I already have some coordinating fabrics picked out to fully finish this. And I am going to be finishing this into a project bag. And I have already picked out the fabrics because actually I was really hoping to have it done and finished into a project bag for today's Flosstube to share with you. But yeah, the weekend just went sideways. So it's not finished into a project bag, but I did pick out the fabrics. I'm ready to go. I even have a zipper picked out. And so my job at some point this week will be to finish this. So pretty exciting. I'm pretty chuffed with myself. I finished something. Shocker, right? I bet you're all surprised, but that's okay. I'm still pretty thrilled. Pretty thrilled. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside, safe and sound. Take some of my coffee here. Okay, so the other things, I have so much to share with you today. I've got some more works in progress, but really that was most of my stitching for the last 2 weeks. I did a fair bit of knitting on the weekend because I can generally knit when I'm feeling very poorly. So if it's easy knitting. So my sock, my second sock is almost done. The sort of pinkish, yellowish, bluish, grayish one that I've shown here before. The second sock, I'm almost at the toe, this close to the toe, and my magenta asymmetrical wrap that's just, it's just stockinette stitch. So it's knit on one side, purled on the back. It is, I maybe put 2 inches into that, and it's a very thin fingering weight, and my gauge is quite small because that's how I don't like a loose weave in a knit. I tend to prefer a smaller, tighter gauge. So it tends to take me longer to knit small things with fingering weight because of my predilection to have things smaller. So you have to knit more to make it fit, to make it big enough, right? Which makes sense. So I put probably about 2 inches. I probably knit about 2 inches on that, which is a lot because the rows are quite long. So, you know, considering 12 hours of stitching, I probably did another 5 hours. Well, but that doesn't include the car ride. So probably 9 hours of knitting this weekend as well, which is quite a lot. And I still managed to, you know, visit with my father-in-law and spend time with my family. So that's that was good. The 2 other things, well, the main event, the main event in my life that happened stitching wise, but since the last time I spoke with you, was that I attended the Hamilton Stitch-In that is hosted by the lovely Krafty Kim, also on YouTube, and well worth a watch. And Kim, the Hamilton Stitch-In, so this is, remember, I'm in Southern Ontario, Canada. So if you are even remotely close, the next stitch-in has already been planned. It's on November 24th, and I will correct myself if I have the date wrong, but it's the last Sunday in November. So it's also high tea. So I think I'll need a new start for the Hamilton Stitch-In. So it's November 24th in Hamilton, and there is a Facebook group for it called the Hamilton Stitch-In. So 3 words. If you search for that on Facebook, Hamilton Stitch-In, it should take you to the group page. You can join the group, and then you'll get all of the information there. It's like $12 Canadian to come for the whole day. It's potluck. It's amazing. Kim has booked the larger room this time, so we should have plenty of space. People shouldn't have to go on a waiting list. There should be lots of space. So if you'd like to come, it'd be great to meet you. And I have already paid my $12, and I fully plan on going. So what a great day. I mean, what a great day. It was so fun. It was so fun. So where do I start? I'll start with Joanne. I'll start with Joanne. Joanne, I won't use your whole name because I don't have your permission. So Joanne C, she's such a good friend. She showed up with gifts for me, which were completely unexpected. And she also showed up with gifts for everyone in the whole room. So I'm gonna show you that first. Now, Joanne is also a paper crafter and a knitter. She's a multi-crafter, and she always says, well, I needed something to occupy my grandsons. She always says that. She's so, what's the word for it? Humble and sort of, you know, dismissive about how much effort and work she's really put into something. Oh, it was just something to keep my grandsons busy. She paper crafted with her grandsons one of these little boxes for every single person in the room. Pink is the new black. Oop, there's the bottom. I showed you that side already. There you go. She's used a small jeweled sticky fastener to close the box. And then when you open them up, on the inside, now mine's kind of empty because there was a pink Lindor chocolate on the inside, along with a wet nap for your fingers after you ate the chocolate. And then she even cut out little felt flowers, for the bottom of the box. Adorable. Now clearly the chocolate is long gone because who can resist a Lindor? Not me. So anyways, Joanne had one of these for every single person in the crowd. So kind. And then she handed me a card, and when I opened it up, honestly, she had stitched one of the, many of us know all about the It's You I Like pattern designed by Diana itiskismetstitches and charted by Michelle Bendy, and it's the hashtag is It's a Movement Not a Sal. So the premise is that you stitch one of these and then you finish it and you gift it to someone, based on the Mr. Rogers premise that it's you that I like. Doesn't matter what you look like or what your hair looks like or how you're dressed or, you know, what's your favorite food? It's just you that I like. And Joanne very creatively took that idea and she turned it into this design. So if you can see, she's got the words in there. It's you I like. There's the I like. And I'm pretty sure that that is supposed to be not my cat, Sasha, my next door neighbor's cat, because, well, I'm rather fond of her. Is that not the sweetest thing ever? Honestly. So Joanne stitched this on perforated paper. So clever. She's got some little jewels for the eyes, and she's got a small silver metallic for the whisker. and it is just adorable. And then I'll show you what's inside in a minute, because look at the card. For all you do, Flosstube, not my cat, sewing bags. I'm reading this backwards. Sewing bags, giveaways, it's you I like. Joanne. Look. I love it. I love it. Now, the best part is, Joanne is one of those, you know, there's a certain type of gifter, person who, my friend Adrienne is exactly like this. She, of Fiber Friends. The type of person who listens and they take note of things that you say, or things that, you know, certain habits or predilections. Do you know what I mean? So last year this happened again at the Hamilton Stitch-In. I should know what Joanne is up to by now, because boy, she's good. I was stitching Frederica by Carriage House Samplings, 3857. I had taken away the 3857 and put it in another project. So all summer at the cottage, I didn't have 3857 to work into the little diamonds that were in that. And so when I showed up at the Hamilton Stitch-In, Joanne had made a little gift box for me, and tucked inside was a skein of 3857. Okay. So this year, we went away for March break. Actually, it wasn't March break, excuse me. It was at the end of the summer. And I had taken my dad, when I took my dad on a trip. And I was working on Savon, which was, now I'm gonna tie this into my whip, okay? Since I'm talking about it, I'm gonna show it to you. So I had taken Savon with me to Connecticut. And I have put some more progress into this, so I'll show it off right now. Ta-da! So, I had taken Savon with me, and I had neglected to take my DMC 310. I mean, come on. I had specifically taken it to work on filling in all of the motifs that I had painstakingly readied in preparation to be able to enjoy that fill-in on my holiday, and I forgot to take the 310. So, you see, I've done all this in fill-in here. I've started up here. I've started filling in up these sides here, and I've done the outlining up this side of the border. So, Savon, that is my progress on Savon. See how I did that? See how I tied that into my chitter chatter? Okay, so Joanne tucked this inside this, and she made this herself, and it's waxed somehow, so I'm not sure whether she must have drew it, but it's very well done, but it's kind of a waxed paper. So Joanne, I'm curious as to how you finished this, because it feels like, you know, special kind of cardstock. You see the design that she's done on it? Look at that, 310, and she's got pictures here, a spool of thread, a bobbin, needle, scissors, and then she has paper crafted. She paper crafted a thing, and it's got a skein of 310 and some thread drops, and she says, now you can tuck this in your purse and you will have 310 with you wherever you go. Right? I mean, funny, right? So Joanne, I will put this in my purse, and I will keep it for those 310 emergencies. Is that not a thoughtful gift, or what? I love it. Joanne, thank you. That was really, really very, very kind and very unexpected. Very sweet. Okay, so the other thing at the Hamilton Stitch-In, two things at the Hamilton Stitch-In. I'm gonna start with Krafty Kim first. Always good to see her. She is such a good friend, and I am lucky to call Kim a friend. Kim has made some project bags that she is selling. So if you are interested in, I'm hoping she still has some left now that I am 2 weeks late in talking about these project bags. Kim is selling them. I believe she has them listed over on the Canada Cross Stitch Trade and Sell, Canadian Cross Stitch Trade and Sell group on Facebook. I may have the wording wrong on that. I will look it up and try to remember to link it below. If I don't, I'm hoping Kim sees this and pops a note in there so that I can correct it. So Kim has made some vinyl front project bags. Now I kind of had the skinny on these that she was making these before she listed them. So I sort of said, I would like one, please. So I purchased one of the first ones and I wanted to just show it to you in case you're here in Canada or anywhere. I think Kim will ship anywhere. So it's the vinyl front project bag. And she has lovely zipper pulls that she makes herself. And of course, the contrasting fabric that she's used on the inside. She's got some fabric. These are quite well finished. Very well made, Kim. And I'm thrilled to own one of my very own. I believe she had a couple more of this particular print, and she also had a couple of Halloween bags. Now, I could be lying and she's completely sold out and they're all gone already, and I'm telling you all about something that Kim doesn't have any more of. However, on the off chance that 2 weeks have passed and she still has a couple left and you fall in love with these, then you can get in contact with Krafty Kim on YouTube. That's her channel name, Krafty Kim, and she's on most of the Facebook groups, and she's also on Instagram as well. So, and she's a keeper. She's a keeper, our Kim. She's lovely. Okay. Guess who else was at the Hamilton Stitch-In? We had surprise guests at the Hamilton Stitch-In. Regina Starkey and Megan Laster drove up all the way from New Jersey to visit us. They came for the weekend. They drove to Canada for the Hamilton Stitch-In. And I had met these two ladies. Megan is Regina's daughter, and Megan brought her daughter to for the weekend as well, who was also working on some embroidery while she was there. Cute as a button. And made me a little nostalgic for those days when Sarah would sit beside me and hang out with my stitching friends and myself. Those years were a while ago now, but I'm hoping one day Sarah will come back. That's the goal. So Regina and Megan and Megan's daughter drove all the way up from New Jersey. I had met them at the New Jersey Flosstube retreat. Most wonderful ladies, and it was so great to see you again. So great to see you again. So they were sitting at the table behind me, so I didn't get nearly enough. Now, I talked a lot. I'm sure no one is surprised that I talked a lot. That probably contributed to the loss of my voice the following week, because it turns out that I was getting sick and I talked all day long. All day long. I talked and talked and talked and talked. I apologize in advance if I was talking to you too much and you were trying to politely extricate yourself from the conversation. My friend Dawn came with me, and she had to sit beside me all day, so Dawn, you're a good friend. And Joanne sat on the other side, so you know, Joanne also trooper. So it was so fun. I did make it away all the way around the room, and the stitching that was there was phenomenal. Brenda. Hi, Brenda. Brenda is a fairly new friend to my channel, but also I have met her a few times at the Hamilton Stitch-In. So every time I go there, we get to know each other just a little bit more. Brenda is working on it's one of the Ufendal sisters. I can't remember which one, but it's the one with the big work basket in the center. It's gorgeous. Brenda has just joined the Facebook group, the Friday Off the Grid Facebook group. So if you see the name Brenda and she's working on the Ufendal sisters, that's who I'm talking about. Her stitching is immaculate. Her stitching is amazing. And I mean, it was a whole room full of amazing stitching. So I feel very fortunate indeed that that Kim is helping to grow this community in our little area here. So it's been a lot of fun. Guess who else was at the Hamilton Stitch-In? I'm gonna do a little name dropping because, oh my word, Cheryl, Tiny Modernist. She was there. And she's been there before. I have met her before, but I actually got to really talk to her this time because she's kind of famous. And I was, the last time I met her, I think I was a little bit, do you know what I mean? You don't want to come across as, oh my God, you're so amazing. Your stuff is fantastic. Yeah, I didn't want to go overboard. So I probably, for someone who talks a lot, I think I kind of shied away from saying too much. And so this was the second time, and we properly met each other this time, and she is lovely. She is just as lovely as you would imagine she is. She's super cute. She's tiny. I am not tiny. I am gigantic. That's another thing. People meet me and they're like, oh, you're much taller than I expected you to be. It's always a surprise, and it's true. I am quite tall, so if you meet me in person, try not to be shocked at my size. I am very tall, and Cheryl is not. She's tiny and perfect, and not that tall people aren't perfect, but do you know what I mean? Like, her name of her business is perfect for her because she is the Tiny Modernist. And just a little heads up, I saw a sneak peek of the Christmas. I don't want to give away too much information here. It's going to be released soon. Let's call it the Christmas design coming from Tiny Modernist. You're going to want it because I want it big time. And I'm going to buy it. As soon as it comes out, I'm going to buy it. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I saw the test stitch being worked on. You're gonna like it a lot, promise you. Okay, so Cheryl was fantastic, and just a little heads up, little spoiler sneak peek, there may or may not be a collaboration coming in the spring with Evertote, Project Bag, Tiny Modernist pattern, something like that. We'll see. We'll see what we can maybe make happen. Remember, I have Michelle Bendy Stitchy extra to give away. Okay, I also have a spare Tiny Modernist. I'm gonna wait for that to focus. There we go. Cheryl brought a copy of this pattern for everybody in the room. She brought these and she put them on the freebie table as a gift to every attendee of the Hamilton Stitch-In. And I was super cheeky and I said, hey Cheryl, can I take an extra one for a giveaway? And she said, sure, no problem, because she's nice like that. And so I have two. I have one for me and I have one for you. I'm not giving it away this week, but I just wanted to sort of tempt you to come back and visit me next week, because I am going to offer these up for giveaway. Spoiler alert, these are giveaway for next week. But she's lovely. Okay. My, what do you call them? SIM card thing in the camera was full. Filled it up. So camera shut down on me and I had to go in and erase some stuff and start over again. So I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna put up an ad from YouTube right here. I'm gonna just take a little break, go heat up my coffee, come back, and then I will finish telling you about everything else that I've got to share with you. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I told you all about the Hamilton Stitch-In meeting Cheryl, Tiny Modernist, Krafty Kim's project bag, my gift from Joanne. The only other thing of mention, not that there isn't like 100 other things of mention because it was such a great day. I got to spend some time with my friends Robin and Sarah. I've known them forever, and they live in St. Catharines. They live way too far away from me because if I could, I would get together with them at least once a week because they're just, I love them. Though, you know what? I have friends here that I love, and I don't see them often enough either. We just need to, you know, build a commune, I think. A crafter's paradise. When we all reach a certain age, we all just need to move to this place so that we can spend whatever time we have left visiting and chatting and stitching and crafting with our friends who understand. Wouldn't that be magical? And you wouldn't have to live there all the time. You could just have your dedicated room and you could just go there for 6 months. And then the other 6 months, maybe you'll travel with your husband. Or maybe, you know, 10 months with your Stitcher friends and 2 months with your husband. Just kidding. John and I are fine. Really, I'm literally, really just kidding. So Robin did the test stitch for Patty Break's design, Beautiful You, and I have got to put some more work into that because I have plans for that piece, big plans for Christmas. And if I don't get a wriggle on and get the stitching done for that, it's not gonna get done in time. Now, fortunately, I haven't told the recipient yet about the gift, but still, I'd really like to get it. I'd like to get it done so that I can give the gift that I see in my head. Robin did the test stitch, so she had some of the leftover. I had asked what this number meant. It's DMC E746, and I had never seen something, the DMC thread with an E at the front. And apparently what this is, it's called Light Effects. I believe I'm getting that right. Anyways, it's a metallic. It's a light metallic. I don't know if that's gonna focus. Let me take it out of the bag. So this is the leftovers. Robin brought me. Looks like spaghetti. There we go. Looks like spaghetti. So you can't really see the metallic-y shine in the video, I don't think, but it is sparkly. Now, judging from Robin's reaction, this was not her favorite thread to work with. And I don't think she made any bones about that fact that she did not enjoy working with this thread. So she said, you know, here's the leftover that I have. You can use it if you want, or do with it what you will. I don't think she was looking for me to give it back to her when I'm done. But I am going to try and use it. Even though I understand fully in advance, I'm taking full responsibility for the fact that it's not going to be my favorite thread to work with. I think for the effect that it will give, it's worth it, because the test stitch that Robin did, it really does provide a little bit of sparkle just in those little places where Patty designed those little stitches. And so I think it's worth it. So anyways, Robin, thank you for bringing it for me. I'm sorry it wasn't your cup of tea, but I really appreciated you taking one for the team and using it on the test stitch. So thank you very much. Okay, I have one other really amazing bit of stitchy kindness, but let me share with you the rest of my works in progress first, in case there are many of you probably who are ready to move on with your day. And stitchy kindness really is, it's well, you know what? You're gonna want to see this stitchy kindness. I'm just saying. But I will start with my whips first, just in case. Okay, so sampler September. For high tea at the end of August, I stated my intentions to start Sarah Dutnell 1818. This was a kit. Oops. Weeble wobble. This was a kit that I purchased from the Scarlet Letter, and I purchased it over a year ago for my birthday. It was a little bit spendy because it was the full kit. So it came with the fabric, which was a 35 count linen, and it came with all of the silks needed for the stitch, and they are it's a beautiful soie d'Alger. So it was not inexpensive, and it was a perfect thing to start for high tea because it's been in my stash for over a year. I want to take it out and enjoy it. I don't want it to just languish in a cupboard, not being enjoyed. So I decided Sampler September was the perfect opportunity to roll that into high tea and celebrate starting it finally. Now, embarrassingly, I talked so much in Hamilton that I only got a few stitches in, but I did start it. So I'll share that with you in a minute. I had mentioned that I had an ink circles disaster. It was just a lot of frogging. I made a lot of mistakes on that ink circles piece, and I had, like, in the same spot, I had to frog out the same motif 3 times. So I didn't work on it for almost a week because I was a little over it, but then this weekend for the 24 hours of cross stitch, I fully intended to work on Sarah Dutnell. Hair. I have a lot of hair, and sometimes it gets, you know, unruly, more unruly. So I was really looking forward to working on Sarah Dutnell at the cottage because I knew I was going to have a couple of days of downtime, and I thought, oh, it'd be so nice. I can work on Sarah Dutnell. And so I took all my project bags and I was all packed and ready to go, and I had everything neatly stored in my larger tote bag. So, you know, all of my I felt very organized, and got to the cottage and realized that I had left my fabric that I stitch on. This right here. Can you see my little star? I'll show you in a minute. You've seen it now. I left the fabric at home. So I did not even put a single stitch in Sarah Dutnell since the Hamilton stitch in. However, that's probably good because it sort of forced me to finish the ink circles piece, because I only had one other thing to work on, and it was another ink circles, the other ink circles piece. I didn't even get to that at all. I made myself focus on the forest flower. So in a way, it's good. And I really, really enjoyed the tiny 1/1 stitching. I loved it. So Sarah Dutnell, I did start it at the Hamilton stitch in. Whoops, bonk. I have this on, these are scroll rods that work in both my Kay's Creations lap frame and my Hearthside. I get asked this a lot. What frames do you like to use? What frames do you use? So I use the Kay's Creation lap frame. I have a few of them. I also use the Hearthside Craftworks floor frame. Episode 55, I did a little video. Now, I'm gonna try and be really fancy. Michelle Bendy explained to me how to add a little link. So if I'm pointing in the right direction, it should say episode 55 up there. So you should be able to click that, and it should take you to episode 55 if you would like to see a little video tutorial. I mean, it's within episode 55. It's not just, I should just do just a little mini tutorial on the frame. It's not a bad idea. Anyways, I'm really hoping that it is episode 55. If it's not, it'll say something different there, but it should have a link there to take you directly to that video if I can figure out how to do it. Fingers crossed. Michelle says it's easy, but I don't know if she knows me. I'll see what I can do. So anyways, the Scarlet Letter, this is the kit. This is the silk, the Soie d'Alger. I started in the top left corner, which is like my favorite place to start. I always say I'm gonna start there. Many times I do, lots of times I say I'm gonna start. Sorry, I was interrupted there. Okay, so I was talking about Sarah Dutnell, Soie d'Alger, love it. 1 strand over 2 on 35 count linen, and the coverage is spectacular. So it's slightly plumper than a DMC, or you know, I'm gonna say the twist in it is just lovely, and it just that's the coverage. 1 strand over 2 looks pretty good to me. So I started in the top left corner, and yeah, kind of pathetic. So anyways, these are the scroll rods for these scroll rods work in either of those systems, and you can see that it's got the, what do you call that, twill tape that you can stitch your project fabric onto directly. But I've got these handy clamp clamps. And so sometimes when I've got these large scale projects that I know that I don't want to work on, I'm never going to work on this until it's done. But I also don't want it taking up the scroll rods for 10 years. I will use the handy clamps to clamp the fabric to the rod, and then you put, trick that I worked out last year due to viewers leaving me great advice was to put little pieces of quilt batting, line them up on the inside here, and then as you roll your fabric to get to your stitching, that quilt batting will rest against the ridge of the clamp, and then that will protect your fabric from getting too much of a line in it from that. However, you should loosen the fabric after you're done stitching, and really you shouldn't leave the fabric on with these clamps. You should take it off and store your fabric when you're not working on it, when you're not stitching on it. You should remove it. So okay, so that's Sarah Dutnell. Not much there, but still it's a start. It counts for Sampler September, even if there's like, you know, 50 stitches there. It counts. The other thing that I worked on, my other work in progress, was my Abby Rose Designs Yuletide on Thistle Hill. This gorgeousness right here. Gorgeous. Now, I got a message, Brian Blitstitch left me a comment, and he said that seeing mine, he was awfully tempted to start his. And Brian, I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a quick stitch, and I definitely think you should start yours sooner rather than later. Okay, so I am missing a lot of the threads. I don't have a lot of the, this is the thread list. I'm missing a lot of the specialty threads on this list. I have like 5 of them, and that's fine because I'm going to substitute, I'm not substituting, I'm going to use the DMC that it calls for instead of the specialty overdyed cottons. And so I just have to find those DMCs because they're not all in my bobbin boxes. They're over probably in my drawer of, Gerald saw the drawer and he's like, oh dear. Oh dear, you better bring that drawer to New Jersey and I'll help you bobbinate all those. And then I got to New Jersey and he said, where's your drawer of DMC? I thought we were going to bobbinate that. And I said, I didn't really want to do that. So yeah, I have a drawer full of DMC that needs to be bobbinated. So I suspect the rest of these DMCs are in that drawer. I just have to find them. It's not like a, you know, it's not like a huge drawer. It's a very reasonably sized drawer. Okay, so here's my progress. I have it in an 11 by 17, that's right? Yeah, 11 by 17 Q-snap, and I worked on the bottom border. And believe it or not, so Brian, this right here, this is the midpoint. So as you can see, it's not huge. It's gonna come to what, here? It's not that big. The whole design is gonna fit inside. There's my hand. My hand is not little, not by any stretch of the imagination. I have very large hands. And so this, it's not a huge piece, and I'm already halfway across the border at the bottom. And that's my progress on that. 1 thread over 2. This is a 36 count R&R Reproductions in the colorway Winter's Brew. I love R&R Reproductions fabrics. It's really, really beautiful, and it's really, I love it. I really like working on it. I'm finding the coverage of the 1 thread, especially coming from doing so much work on the 28 count 1/1, it feels really big. Feels really big, like broomstick big, but that's a bit silly because it's all relative, isn't it? But it's it's a really, really beautiful design, and I'm really thrilled that I started it. So that's it. That's what I've been working on. So some work on Savon, few stitches on Sarah Dutnall, part of the border on here, and I finished my Ink Circles Forest Flower, and I've done a fair bit of knitting in the last 2 weeks. So all in all, a very satisfying, crafty bit of time. So, okay, I have just, not just, this is something very special to share. My friend Patty Brake, talk about her a lot, from Newfoundland. She sent me a gift. She sent me a gift. Now I knew that something was coming, but I didn't know what was coming. I thought it was maybe, you know, a card or something. You know, she just had her. She puts on an event every year out in Newfoundland. And it happens on a little tiny island that's just off of Newfoundland, and I believe it's called Bell Island, and you have to take a ferry to get there. And she holds a little retreat there once a year in early fall, and I gather that it is rather magnificent. So if you'd like more information, Patty has a YouTube channel of her own. I talked about it, well, I talk about it fairly regularly, but she was involved with Flossmas with me last year, and so I mentioned her a lot last Christmas. Big plans for Flossmas this year, just so you know. Stuff is coming. So Patty sent me, where do I begin? Okay, so this came in the mail. First of all, it was in a David's Tea box, and Sarah said, "Did you order some David's Tea?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't. What the heck?" And then I flipped it over, and my name and address was taped to the other side of the box. I'm like, "Oh, it's from Patty." So it's this adorable box that I'm pretty sure she painted, and she kind of aged it a little bit, and it's adorable. And then look what happens when you open it up. Look at that. Check that out. Right? Patty, this is amazing. So during our Finish It Up weekend, Patty finished this up, and she gifted it to me, and it's incredible. Wait till you see. So I believe this is a Blackbird Designs pattern. Patty, can you, I think, now watch what happens. This little lid thing comes out. See that? So she finished this, and it's got a hard bottom, so it's like a lid in the top there, so you can display it. And then she put some goodies on the inside of the box. So the pattern is called The Meadow by Barb Adams, Blackbird Designs, and it is from the Home for the Holidays book. So that is where you can find this pattern, which is just adorable. And Patty, your finishing is lovely. Just so lovely. I love it. It's got this beautiful piece of felt, wool, like proper wool felt on the back. That's beautiful. Is this Weeks Dye Works? I don't know. It feels different, but it's really, really nice. Look at that. And she wrote the card on this card that she purchased at the William Morris Museum in London, 2006. So this in itself is a treasure that she collected herself, and she wrote on it. It's a beautiful note, and she gifted it to me. So this card is going to stay in the box with the stitching. Now the little treasures in here, I mean, come on. It's a little Scrabble stitch marker with C for Caroline. There were 3 packets of tea. I may have finished one already. Lovely David's tea, beautiful David's tea. A needle keep. These are so handy, and I actually don't have one of these. This is a beautiful one too. I'm interested to know where you got it from, Patty. So it's a wooden, almost like a lipstick tube. It unscrews, and you can keep extra needles in there. They're very handy for knitters who need to keep a couple of darning needles on hand in your notions pouch when you're finishing the toe of a sock or something like that, or for stitching, just to keep, you know, 10 extra spare 10 needles in. Very handy. And then a beautiful pair of Kelmscott scissors. These are the Putford scissors. These are the miniatures with regular, I'm gonna take them out so that you can see the card. There. Kelmscott designs. And they're just these tiny cute little, look, my eyes are through them. That's funny. So Kelmscott designs, little scissors. What a gift. Patty, you spoiled me. You spoiled me, Patty. That was really kind. That was, I received this box kind of in the depth of the midst of the cold, terrible cold that I had last week when I lost my voice, and it was really bad, and I was feeling pretty sorry for myself. And this arrived in the mail, and it was just what the doctor ordered. So thank you, Patty, one more time, because it's just beautiful. Thank you for your friendship. Okay, so you know that I think I have made my way through everything that I wanted to share with you today. Shop update, things are coming. Things are coming. I have been working on the Holiday 2019 Evertote collection, and it's a good one this year. Not that it is, not that any of the kits are not good. They're all good. But oh boy, I'm excited about this one. So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. The designer for the 2019 holiday kit will be Lindy Stitches. What? So I have been working with Stephanie for probably, when did I asked her. So I approached Stephanie maybe 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago. It was probably, no, it was 2 months ago. It was in the middle of the summer. And I said, I know you're very busy and I know you're very popular, but do you think maybe you might consider designing a pattern for a collaboration at Christmas time? And she said yes. And so I've seen the pattern. I have a model stitched up in my hot little hands that Krafty Kim finished up for me. It is amazing. It is so cute. You're gonna love it. So it's going to only come in one size this year. It's going to be a large flat. So that fits the 11-inch square Q-snap. You'll understand when I show you the fabric, when I show you the bag, why I'm only offering it in the one size, because it made sense to do it that way. But I'm not gonna show you. It's gonna come out in November. So I'm hoping at the latest it'll be out for pre-order by November the 8th, but I'm hoping to have it come out maybe a little bit sooner than that for pre-order, so that I can make sure that those bags are all out in the mail well before the beginning of December, so that you can have these things for holiday stitching. The third item that will be in the kit, I have had so much fun. I'm working with a friend in the UK who has, how much can I tell you? I don't know that I can tell you all that much without giving it away. But the third puzzle piece of the kit is coming all the way from the UK, and I have seen the design of this particular item, and the sample has been made. I have seen a sample of the puzzle piece for the kit, and it is so fun. It's so fun. It's going to be a great kit. So pre-orders for that are going to go up near the beginning of November, the first week, and I'll have more information on that when I'm closer to the time. So I've been working a lot on those bags for that kit. I've also been, I've had regular orders come through Evertote, and thank you so much. That's www.evertote.com. There's lots of bags in the shop, different ones. These are, I make them to order. So the bags that are the photographed are samples, and then I have things cut out and to a certain point, and then I finish off the bag when the order comes in. And it can take, you know, 7 to 10 business days from the time of order to the time of me shipping out the bag. So I am adding a section onto the website, to the shop, that's, I'm going to label it as a kind of like one of a kind section where I can make bags, either patchwork bags, bags from my scraps, bags that I want to make because they're fabric combinations that I just have been really wanting to put together, you know, just things that spark that little bit of creative joy. And then, you know, what am I going to do with 300 bags? So that's where I'm going to put them. I love making them, but I have no need for all of these bags. So I made a patchwork bag last week. So this one's going up. This is going to be the first bag in the one of the kind section on the shop. And this is made of some of my very precious scraps from the Joel Dewberry birch farm fabric line. And I hoard this fabric because it's some of my favorites. So it's a patchwork wedge tote with a strap on the side, and it's pieced together all the way. So everything is pieced together. There's some owls on the back side and some more of that bird antler print. There's even a small little scrap of the owls on the front here as well, but it's kind of just the wing of the bird. It's completely quilted. So I quilt I quilt the panels, and then I turn it into a project bag. So the medium wedge tote fits an 8-inch square Q-snap. I do not have a notions pouch to go with this, though I could easily and happily make you one if you'd like. So I'm simply putting this in the shop as just the main bag itself. So this will be listed in the shop by the time the video is up tonight, and I only have one. So that's why it's the inaugural bag in the one of the kind collection. And every once in a while, there will be little surprises tucked in there when I have time and a little bit of creative spark to put something together. I love this bag. I like this bag a lot. I've used just a very creamy off-white 100% cotton on the inside. It's not a muslin, it's a full cotton, 100% cotton fabric. So, and the bag is quilted, all the seams are hidden. Spot on the bag, and then the strap matches. I really had fun making this one. Not that I don't have fun making all of the bags. I love sewing. I love sewing. I really enjoy what I do. And it's because of you that I get to do what I love to do. So thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it more than I can say. Okay, I think I'm done. I had a lot to talk about. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. Probably disgustingly long, but that's okay. We were overdue for a visit. I hope you've enjoyed your time here with me today. I hope you got some stitching done. And stay tuned for some exciting news on the personal front coming soon. Yeah, Friday. I'll talk about it on Friday, for Friday Off the Grid. I hope you have a great week. I really hope you get some stitching time. We have a very busy week here coming up ahead. It is Sarah's convocation this week, so we will be attending that. My parents are coming, And Canadian Thanksgiving weekend is next weekend. And we are hosting 29 people. I am cooking for 29 people next weekend. Oh, 28. We had one cancellation. Now, we had one cancellation. However, that doesn't mean that someone isn't going to show up with someone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, my cousin's friend's aunt was over for coffee, and so we invited her to dinner. That does happen sometimes. We take turns. There are 4 families that take turns hosting the Thanksgiving dinner. It's our year this year. So I will have lots of help. I have lots of help. I do the main meal. And then the other families that come are in charge of bringing desserts and appetizers. And everybody brings their own bottle of wine. And it's very casual. It's incredibly fun. It's incredibly fun. So I may say, it may panic some of you to think that there's that many people. Oh, broccoli salad. Broccoli salad. Okay, have you got your pen? Because this is a Thanksgiving-worthy recipe. And I know I said the all recipes recipe, but that's a lie because I don't follow that at all. I just kind of make it up. Like that was my basis like 10 years ago, but now it's so different from that. So depending on how many people you need to feed, depends on how much I make, okay? So I usually, for a family dinner, I know I want leftovers, like big family, like you're gonna have Sunday dinner with the relatives. I would do 2 heads of broccoli, quarter of a red onion, 1/8 to 1/4 of a red onion, thinly sliced, quarter of a cup to half a cup of raisins. See, I eyeball all of this. I know I want a little bit of red onion. I know I want some raisins in it. I know I want bacon in it and lots of it. I pre-crumble, like I use kitchen shears and I snip up. Now I make a huge thing. I make 4 heads of broccoli. Okay, so that's why my measurements are all off because I usually am feeding a lot. So I'll do 4 heads of broccoli, a whole pound of bacon. I cut it up with kitchen shears and I cook it. You want to cook it in crumbles, drain it, and then you stick that on top of the broccoli. So bacon, raisins, broccoli, red onion, and then it's the dressing. So the dressing is half and half mayonnaise and sour cream. Perfectly okay to use light versions of those if you like. I eyeball the quantity based on the amount of broccoli I have. So if I only have 2 heads of broccoli, it would probably be 3/4 of a cup of each. If I'm making 4 heads of broccoli, it's gonna be a cup of each. So 1 cup of mayonnaise, 1 cup of sour cream. But then I eyeball that. And if that doesn't look like it's gonna make enough dressing, because you want this to have, you want it to be coated, quite well coated. Another thing is make sure that you make it the day before. You don't want to be making this the day of that you're serving it. It really needs a day to rest and kind of marinate in the dressing. So it's going to be half mayonnaise, half sour cream. Then you're going to put in 2 to 3 tablespoons of an apple cider vinegar. You're going to put in a couple tablespoons of a mustard, either a Dijon mustard or a nice, you know, not the sort of prepared yellow mustard, but a Dijon mustard. Put in a couple tablespoons of that, and then you're gonna put in some sugar. The recipe calls for like half a cup of sugar. Some of them are even more, like I don't even know, I'm probably exaggerating, but it's too much sugar. I never put that much sugar in. I start with about 5, because remember, this is 4 heads of broccoli. So I start with about 6 tablespoons of sugar, which is still quite a bit. And then you mix all that up and then make sure you taste it. And if it tastes pretty good, dump it on the salad, mix it up, stick it in the fridge, leave it overnight. Before you serve it, add in some salted cashews on top. Spread those in. Now I forgot the cashews for the Hamilton Stitch-In, so there were no cashews in that version, but it was still really delicious. That tends to be how I cook. I don't have exact measurements. I eyeball everything, so I really apologize. It turns out a little differently every time, but it's generally about the same, and it's really a forgiving recipe. You just kind of have to use a little bit of instinct and look at what it looks like, and it'll turn out. It'll be delicious, I promise. Okay, so yeah, that's coming up this weekend, so we're getting ready for that this weekend. But I will be back on Friday with a Friday Off the Grid Stitch with Me. And I have no idea what I'll be working on yet. but I suspect I'm looking at my twisted band sampler because that's on my floor frame upstairs with the purples, and I kind of want to put a little bit more work into that. So I will see you on Friday. I hope you have a great week and happy stitching. Take care.